Close your eyes for a moment and think about yesterday. How many times did you reach for your phone without even realizing it? How many hours slipped through your fingers while you scrolled through content you can't even remember now? How many dreams remain just dreams because you told yourself you'd start tomorrow? If you're honest with yourself, the answers to these questions might be uncomfortable. But here's the truth. You're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. You're simply caught in the most sophisticated distraction system ever created in human history. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects billions of people worldwide. The epidemic of distraction, phone addiction, and the creeping paralysis of laziness that keeps us from becoming who we're meant to be. But this isn't a lecture about what you're doing wrong. This is a conversation about liberation. This is about taking back control of the most valuable resource you have, your attention, understanding the enemy, why our brains are hijacked. Before we can win this battle, we need to understand what we're up against. Your smartphone isn't just a device. It's a carefully engineered slot machine designed to keep you pulling the lever. Every notification, every like, every new message triggers a small release of dopamine. In your brain, the same chemical that makes gambling addictive. The companies behind your favorite apps employ hundreds of the world's brightest minds, people with PhDs in behavioral psychology and neuroscience whose entire job is to make their platforms as sticky as possible. They study your behavior patterns. They A/B test different features. They use color psychology. They deploy infinite scroll all to keep you engaged for just one more minute, one more click, one more scroll. Think about that for a moment. Billion-dollar corporations are investing massive resources into capturing your attention, and they're winning. The average person now checks their phone over 150 times per day. We spend between 4 to 6 hours daily on our devices. That's not just time, that's life itself, disappearing into a glowing rectangle. Here's what they don't tell you. Every minute you spend distracted is a minute stolen from your potential. Every hour lost to mindless scrolling is an hour you could have spent learning a skill, building a relationship, creating something meaningful, or moving toward your dreams. The real cost of distraction. Itties talk about what distraction really costs us. Because until we understand the price, we won't be motivated to change. There's the obvious time. If you spend 5 hours a day on your phone doing nothing productive, that's 35 hours a week. That's 1,820 hours a year. That's 76 full days, more than 2 months of your life. Every single year gone. In 10 years, that's nearly 2 full years of waking hours. Imagine what you could build with 2 years of focused effort. But time isn't even the worst of it. Distraction destroys something far more precious, your ability to focus deeply. There's a concept called deep work, the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding tasks. This is where real learning happens. This is where breakthrough ideas emerge. This is where mastery is built. And we're losing this capacity. Studies show that it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully regain focus after a distraction. 23 minutes. If you're checking your phone every 10 minutes, you're never actually reaching a state of deep focus. You're living in a constant state of fragmentation, touching the surface of everything, but penetrating the depth of nothing. Then there's the emotional cost. Constant comparison on social media breeds anxiety and depression. The fear of missing out keeps us tethered to our devices. We become reactive instead of proactive, living our lives in response to notifications rather than in pursuit of our own goals. We become strangers to ourselves, outsourcing our sense of worth to likes and comments from people we barely know. And finally, there's the opportunity cost. Every moment spent distracted is a moment not spent on what matters. That business you wanted to start, that book you wanted to write, that skill you wanted to master, that relationship you wanted to deepen. All of these require sustained attention. And if your attention is constantly fragmented, these dreams will remain forever out of reach. The laziness trap, comfort, is the enemy of growth. Now let's address laziness, because it's intimately connected to distraction. Laziness isn't a character flaw, it's a habit. And like all habits, it can be broken. Here's the truth about laziness. It feels good in the moment and terrible in the long run. Procrastination gives us immediate relief from discomfort, but it compounds that discomfort with interest. Every time we choose the easy path, we make it harder to choose the challenging path next time. Think of your willpower and discipline like a muscle. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, that muscle atrophies. Every time you hit snooze instead of getting up, every time you scroll instead of working, every time you say tomorrow instead of today, you're training yourself to be weaker. But here's the beautiful paradox. The reverse is also true. Every time you do the hard thing, you make it easier to do hard things in the future. Every time you resist distraction, you strengthen your resistance. Every time you choose focus over scrolling, you're building the mental muscle that will serve you for life. Laziness is often just fear in disguise. We're afraid of failure, afraid of discomfort, afraid of finding out we're not as capable as we hoped. So we distract ourselves. We numb ourselves with endless entertainment. We stay busy with meaningless tasks to avoid the meaningful work that scares us. But Eatness real greatness lives on the other side of that fear. Every person you admire, every achievement you respect, every success story you heard required someone to break through that wall of resistance, to stop making excuses, and to do the work anyway. The neuroscience of focus, you can rewire your brain. Here's something incredible. Your brain is plastic, not in the sense of the material, but in the sense that it can change and rewire itself throughout your entire life. This phenomenon is called neuroplasticity, and it's the foundation of all. Learning and habit change when you repeatedly engage in a behavior. Whether that's checking your phone or practicing focused work, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with that behavior. Think of it like walking through a forest. The first time, you're pushing through brush and brambles. But if you walk the same path every day, eventually you create a clear trail. Your habits work the same way. The bad news, if you've been practicing distraction for years, you've created a superhighway in your brain that makes it incredibly easy to reach for your phone. The good news, you can build new pathways. You can rewire your brain for focus, but this requires consistency and patience. You didn't become addicted to distraction overnight, and you won't overcome it overnight. But you can overcome it. Neuroscience shows us that with sustained effort, typically around 66 days, for a new habit to become automatic, you can literally change the structure of your brain every time you resist the urge to check your phone. You're weakening that old pathway and strengthening a new one. Every time you engage in focused work, you're building mental infrastructure that will serve you forever. Practical strategies, taking back control. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So let's talk about concrete, practical strategies you can implement today to kill distractions and reclaim your focus. Strategy 1, design your environment. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you realize. If your phone is on your desk while you work, you will check it. It's not a question of willpower, it's a question of proximity and convenience. Make distraction hard and focus easy. Put your phone in another room when you're working. Delete social media apps from your phone, or at least move them off your home screen. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Every notification is an interruption, and every interruption fragments your focus. Create a dedicated workspace that signals to your brain, when I'm here, I focus. Our brains love context and association. If you work from your bed, your brain associates your bed with work and can't properly rest. If you scroll on your phone at your desk becomes a place of distraction rather than productivity. Strategy 2, time blocking and deep work sessions. Don't try to focus for 8 hours straight. That's not realistic and will lead to burnout. Instead, schedule specific blocks of time for deep, focused work. Start with just 1 hour. Set a timer. Eliminate all distractions. And work on one important task with complete focus. During this time, there are no exceptions. No quick checks of email. No just one peek at social media. Complete, undivided attention on the task at hand. When the timer goes off, take a break. But make it a real break, walk, stretch, get outside. Don't replace focused work with mindless scrolling as you build this muscle. Gradually increase your deep work sessions. 2 hours, 3 hours. Eventually, you'll be capable of sustained focus that would have seemed impossible when you started. Strategy 3, morning routines and evening boundaries. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If the first thing you do when you wake up is check your phone, you're immediately putting yourself in reactive mode. You're letting the world dictate your priorities before you've even gotten out of bed. Create a morning routine that centers you and sets your intention for the day. This might include meditation, exercise, journaling, reading, or simply sitting in silence with your coffee. The specific activities matter less than the principle. Start your day on your terms, not on the terms of your notifications. Similarly, create boundaries in the evening. Stop using screens at least an hour before bed. The blue light disrupts your sleep, and the mental stimulation makes it harder to wind down. Read a physical book, talk with family, reflect on your day. Give your brain permission to rest. Strategy 4, the power of replacement. You can't just eliminate a habit, you need to replace it with something better. If you're used to scrolling through social media when you're bored, have a replacement ready. Keep a book nearby. Have a list of productive micro tasks you can complete in 5 minutes. Practice a skill, even briefly. The urge to check your phone often comes from genuine needs, the need for connection, for novelty, for a mental break. Honor these needs, but fulfill them in healthier ways. Text a friend to make actual plans instead of scrolling through their photo. Read an interesting article instead of browsing headlines. Take a real break instead of a scroll break. Strategy 5, accountability and community. Don't fight this battle alone. Find an accountability partner, someone who shares your commitment to focus and productivity. Check in with each other. Share your goals. Celebrate your wins and support each other through setbacks. Join communities of people who value focus and intentional living. Whether it's online forums, local meetups, or just a group of friends, surrounding yourself with people who reinforce your values makes an enormous difference. The deeper work, connecting to purpose. All the strategies in the world won't create lasting change if you don't connect to a deeper purpose. Why does focus matter to you? What would you do with your life if you weren't constantly distracted? What dreams are waiting for you on the other side of your phone addiction? Take time to really think about this. Write it down. Create a vision of the life you want to live and the person you want to become. Because on difficult days, and there will be difficult days, this vision will pull you forward when willpower isn't enough. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur who builds something meaningful. Maybe you want to be a parent who's truly present with your children. Maybe you want to be an artist who creates beauty in the world. Maybe you want to be a student who achieves academic excellence. Maybe you simply want to feel like you're living your life instead of watching it pass by. Whatever your purpose is, connect to it deeply and regularly and let it inform your daily choices. Let it guide you when you feel the pull of distraction. Overcoming setbacks, progress, not perfection. You will have setbacks. You will have days when you fall back into old patterns. You will have moments when you waste hours on your phone despite your best intentions. This is normal. This is human. This is part of the process. The difference between people who succeed and people who fail isn't that successful people never struggle. It's that successful people don't let temporary failures become permanent defeats. They acknowledge the setback, learn from it, and get back on track. If you have a bad day, don't spiral into guilt and self-recrimination. Don't tell yourself you've ruined everything. And you might as well give up. That's just your brain trying to protect you from the discomfort of change by convincing you change is impossible. Instead, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that you're working on changing deeply ingrained habits, and that's genuinely difficult. Reflect on what triggered the setback. Were you stressed, tired, bored, lonely? Understanding your triggers helps you develop strategies to handle them better next time. Then simply begin again. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next month. Right now. The next moment is always an opportunity to make a better choice. The bigger picture, attention is everything. Here, something that might change your perspective. Your life is nothing more than the sum of what you pay attention to. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If you spend your attention on social media drama and celebrity gossip, your life will feel shallow and meaningless. If you spend your attention on growth, learning, creation, and deep relationships, your life will feel rich and purposeful. This isn't philosophy, it's practical reality. You become what you repeatedly do. Your habits shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. In a world that's constantly competing for your attention, the ability to control your focus is a superpower. While everyone around you is distracted, fragmented, and overwhelmed, you can be clear, focused, and purposeful. While others are consuming, you can be creating. While others are reacting, you can be proactive. This gives you an almost unfair advantage. In a distracted world, a focused person stands out. In a world of consumers, creators are valuable. In a world of reactivity, proactivity is revolutionary. The invitation, choose your hard. Life is hard either way. It's hard to struggle with phone addiction, laziness, and lack of focus. It's hard to feel like you're wasting your life, like you're not living out to your potential, like time is slipping away while you do nothing meaningful. But it's also hard to break free from these patterns. It's hard to resist the pull of distraction. It's hard to do the work when you don't feel like it. It's hard to build new habits and rewire your brain. You have to choose your heart. But here's the difference. The heart of discipline leads somewhere. The heart of laziness and distraction is a treadmill that goes nowhere. One kind of heart builds you up, the other tears you down. One kind of heart creates the life you want, the other creates regret. I'm inviting you to choose the heart that leads to growth. Choose the discomfort of waking up early over the regret of wasted time. Choose the challenge of focused work over the emptiness of endless scrolling. Choose the difficulty of change over the suffering of staying the same. Your life is waiting. Everything you want, the success, the fulfillment, the relationships, the achievements, the person you want to become, all of it is waiting for you on the other side of distraction. But you have to be willing to put down your phone. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to trade temporary comfort for lasting satisfaction. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about never using your phone or never feeling lazy. This is about gradually shifting the balance. This is about winning more moments than you lose. This is about making progress, however imperfect. Start today, not tomorrow. Today. Choose one thing, just one from what we've discussed, and implement it immediately. Put your phone in another room right now. Schedule 1 hour of focused work for tomorrow. Delete one social media app. Commit to a phone-free morning routine starting tomorrow. Small actions taken consistently create massive transformation. The person you'll be a year from now is being created by the choices you make today. Make them count. Your focus is your power. Your attention is your life. Don't give them away cheaply to apps and companies that see you as nothing more than engagement metrics and advertising targets. You're worth more than that. Your dreams are worth more than that. Your life is worth more than that. Conclusion: the choice is yours. We've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about the neuroscience of addiction, the true cost of distraction, the trap of laziness, and practical strategies for reclaiming your focus. But all of this is just information. Unless you act on it, you're standing at a crossroads right now. Down one path is the familia, our territory of distraction, phone addiction, and unrealized potential. It's comfortable, it's easy, it's what you know. But deep down, you know where it leads, and you know you want something different. Down the other path is uncertainty and challenge. It's the hard work of changing habits that have been years in the making. It's the discomfort of resisting urges and doing difficult things. But this path leads to growth, to achievement, to becoming someone you're proud to be. The choice is yours, and it's a choice you'll make not once, but 1,000 times. Every time you feel the urge to check your phone, you'll choose. Every time you want to procrastinate, you'll choose. Every time you're tempted to take the easy path, you'll choose. Choose wisely, choose consciously, choose the person you want to become. Your extraordinary life is waiting. It's time to kill the distractions and claim it.